How to tell prospective dog training clients you don't want to work with them, and what to do with people who are already clients, you've already accepted the money, and then you've realized you do not want to work with this person. Stick with me. So I'm going to be brief because I need to take the dog out for our every other day 4-mile death march. And clock is ticking, it's getting later. So I'm going to be brief. What do you do if you go out or the client comes to you for a free consultation, or even if it's a paid consultation, and you discover that you do not want to work with them? Maybe maybe they just don't listen. They're constantly interrupting. Maybe they're rude. Maybe they're overly aggressive or obnoxious with their spouse in a way that just kind of disgusts you. Like, this is a disgusting human being. Maybe like one of my clients I remember early on in my career, they reeked of alcohol and they had like skin patches falling off their arms. And it's just like, I don't want to have anything to do with this person. So first of all, give yourself permission to not have to work with everyone. Like those signs that at least they used to put in bars and restaurants that says, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. You do not have to work with someone that you don't like. Now, the corollary to that, the sidebar to that, is that you need to have enough funds to be able to decide, I don't want to work with this person. So what that means is that if you're just starting out and you are just scraping by and your dog training business is not kicking butt yet, you may need to have a regular full-time job Monday through Friday, a 9-to-5 job, and then put cash aside for when you're ready to go full-time with your dog training business. Presumably now you're running your dog training business in the evening or on the weekends. So what you're doing is you're saving up enough money on the side so that when you do go full-time, you're not undercapitalized, right? So you're not making decisions out of fear because you don't have enough money. Because if you don't sign this client, whatever a terrible piece of shit human being they are, you don't want to have to work with that person because you don't have enough money. So you've set aside a good nest egg. I would recommend 6 months to a year, okay? Just so that you're not having to make decisions out of desperations. That's number one. And number two, in the meantime, you're working your regular day job and doing training in the evening or on weekends. So again, you've got other income coming in, so you don't have to make those decisions and work with those kind of clients that you don't want to work with. So how do you tell them? Well, there's a couple of different ways that you can tell them you don't want to work with them. Number one, my preference is the fairly direct way, just saying, listen, I don't think you're a good fit for our program. Let me refer you to this other person, this other dog trainer down the highway. He's going to be able to help you out much more affordably than I can. And it's just going to be a better fit. You can get results with your dog, but this guy is going to be able to help you out much better than I can. You're going to be much happier with the results. Now, normal people will accept that, okay? I mean, even though they may be nuts in other areas, I would expect your average person to accept that. And in my experience, most people do. Okay, just be polite, but be firm. You're a professional. And listen, it's like going to see a doctor and the doctor says, you know what? You don't need an ear, nose, and throat doctor. You really need a neurologist. Maybe you got migraines like I do, right? Hey, no promise. And you're not going to sit there and say, but I want to work with you. Now, some people, some crazy people, especially people that, have something weird going on in their head, they want to work with you and they want to force you to work with them. So my rule is this: I'll tell you 2 times politely. No, you know what? I think you're going to be a much better fit with this dog trainer down the highway, or, working with somebody else. Our program is not right for you. After the 3rd time, then I'm going to be more direct. You can use your imagination, but you have to stand up for yourself. You make the decisions about who you want to work with and who you don't. I am not working with somebody who's abusive towards their dog. I'm not working with somebody who's abusive towards their spouse. I'm not working with people who reek of alcohol or body odor or whatever it is. I have my list. You probably have your list, but you do not have to work with everyone. So that's the direct way. The indirect way is simply highballing them, giving them a number, a quote, that to work with this dog is going to be so ridiculously expensive that they're gonna choose to go somewhere else, which may be the best path, because that way they're the one deciding, okay, this is, I need to find somebody else, rather than you having to tell them no. I've had to tell people no. I remember there was an old woman who was extremely obnoxious, and really, when it became apparent after 1 hour, should have taken like 20 minutes. After an hour, she just kept going on and on. She would interrupt me. She didn't want to listen to what I had to say about, how we could help her out. It would almost become like a running joke. And I had to interrupt her and tell her, listen, I'm not the trainer. I can't help you. Okay. And she went into these hysterics and started crying and stuff. I can't control what you think of me. Is none of my concern. Okay. As long as you conduct yourself as a professional and you're polite but firm with people, you got nothing to worry about. So, take the direct approach, or just highball them and give them a number that's so outrageously expensive that if they do accept it, then, it'll be worth it. But get paid in front and be clear that there are no cash refunds. That's if you haven't signed them yet. Okay. And some of you may be worrying about, well, what if they go and they write a negative review about me on Yelp or one of these other websites, Google reviews? That's going to happen. And you really have no control over that. All you can do is be polite, but be firm and stand your ground and know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. There will be people who, because they're mentally unbalanced, are going to write negative reviews. That's just part of it. Now, what do you do if you've already signed them and then you discover they're a miserable, horrible person? Well, at that point, basically, you need to just be upfront and just say, listen, I don't feel this is working out. I don't think you're right for our program, and here's a refund. Now, depending on how much of the program they've already completed, you may choose to give them a partial refund, or you may choose to give them a complete refund. I've certainly had clients where they became impossible to work with. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what? It's going to be so much easier just to refund this person their money than to deal with their bullshit. Here you go. Leave me alone. Get away from me. Okay. And there's a benefit to that, because typically people who get all of their money back, especially if you've done some of the work, aren't going to write negative reviews. Now, if it's a board and train situation where you've done all of the work and then they come and they're starting to be a pain in the ass, I probably wouldn't give them the money back in that case, because we've completed the service. But if you're doing, let's say, a private lesson program, and you've sold them 4 or 6 lessons, and you've done 2 or maybe 3 lessons, and it becomes apparent you don't want to work with them, then what I might do is just say, look, here's a 50% refund. I can't work with you, and explain the reasons why, but do not get sucked into an argument. These are my reasons. You may or may not even want to list those. You just say, I don't think this is working out. Our program is not right for you. Here's a partial refund or a full refund, depending on what you deem is appropriate for the situation. Here you go. Thank you very much. Have a good life, and move on. It's so much easier to do that. It's so much easier to say that when you have a consistent stream of new clients calling you every day, every week, every month, whatever it is, but a consistent stream of new clients, because clients are like buses. One of them leaves, there's going to be another one coming along in just a minute. You don't have to worry about it if you've got a lead generation system set up. For me, for my money, one of the best ways I've found to get dog training clients is with Google AdWords. And that's what I do for a living. I actually run 100% done for you Google AdWords management service. Basically, we take care of everything from soup to nuts. We use 5 call tracking numbers. Typically, there's some exceptions. We use a landing page. Typically, there's some exceptions. We set up the campaigns in a way that gets you a very high quality score, so that we can get you a lower cost per click than your competition is getting. We know, because we've been managing campaigns in well over 50 markets at this point, exactly what kind of response we should get or not be getting depending on your market. It's a great way to grow your dog training business. But really, if you're just beginning, if you're broke, this is not for you. What you need to do is you need to get a full-time job so that you're not making decisions out of desperation. Now, if you're already at the point where you're signing clients, you've got a consistent stream of clients, but you just want a little bit more consistency, and maybe you want to take it up to the next level, you want to bring in another dog trainer to help you out, give me a call. Head over to dogtrainertoolbox.com. In the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see a box that says Expert Google AdWords Management for Dog Trainers Only. Click on that box and read through that page. At the bottom of that page, there's a link to my calendar app. You can book a free 30-minute phone consultation with me so that we can get on the phone and find out if what we're doing with Google AdWords would be a good fit for helping you grow your dog training business and get a consistent stream of desperate dog owners calling you each and every day, each and every week, each and every month to grow your dog training business and get you to that next level so that you're not making, stupid decisions about who you're going to work with. Hey, I'm Adam Katz. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and we'll see if I can help you out. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.